Good afternoon. I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us at a live session from MAHSA University, Saujanaputra campus. I'm Damayanti, lecturer from Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHSA University, and I will be moderating today's session. Today's webinar, Unlocking the Cognitive Potential, Neurobics, is proudly organized by Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHSA University. Dear viewers, before we proceed further, I would like to give you a brief overview of the programs offered by the Faculty of Health Sciences at MAHSA University. Faculty of Health Sciences comprises School of Physiotherapy, Department of Environmental Health, Department of Medical Imaging. In School of Physiotherapy, we have Diploma in Physiotherapy, Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Honors, Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Open Distance Learning, Master of Physiotherapy, Diploma in Environmental Health. In the Department of Environmental Health, we have a Diploma in Environmental Health, Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety under Open Distance Learning, Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health. Under Department of Medical Imaging, we have Diploma in Medical Imaging, Bachelor of Medical Imaging, Bachelor of Medical Imaging under Open Distance Learning. Why join health sciences? It's a high job demand, no uh, no boring work routine, lucrative remuneration, low risk of job redundancy, opportunity to work in a variety of settings, a career you can feel good about. In MAHSA, we have a Master of Physiotherapy. It's a 1 year program for the full-time program, and it's a 2 year program for part-time program. And we have this is the entry requirements for bachelor's degree. And in MAHSA University, we have a Bachelor's of Physiotherapy, Bachelor of Physiotherapy under Open and Distance Learning, Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety under Open and Distance Learning, Bachelor of Medical Imaging, and Bachelor of Medical Imaging under Open and Distance Learning. And these are the entry requirements. And we do have a Diploma in Physiotherapy, Diploma in Environmental Health, and Diploma in Medical Imaging. And this is the entry requirements. Diploma in Occupation Health, Occupation Safety and Health is a 3 year program. This is the entry requirements. Why choose a Faculty of Health Science? MAHSA is an experienced and dedicated international proof of academic staff. Various study modes, conventional and open distance learning, cross-teaching experts, interactive teaching and emphasis on hands-on clinical skills, which is a face-to-face online platform, which is LMS, whitelist of hospital and institution for clinical and industrial placement, and accredited by MQA and JPA and international recognitions, such as India Vascular University. And we do have a master scholarships, Haji Abdullah Academic Excellence Scholarship, Foundation Scholarship, Blue Ribbon Scholarship, Teacher Scholarship, Family Scholarships, the Single Parent Scholarship, and we do have a collaborations and affiliations with this, all of this World Confederation for Physical Therapy, Nation Physiotherapy Association, so and many more. And we do have a student mobility program from Idiosusa University, from lovely professional university from India, and University Sriwijaya. So welcome you to join us. So please contact us through MAHSA website or through our faculty Facebook page to know more about our programs, or simply leave a comment. We will get back to you. Your questions concerning this webinar session can be listed in the chat box. So now I'm going to introduce of the webinar. Neurobics is based on the idea that brain is like a muscles and it need to be exercised in order to stay strong and healthy. Neurobics exercises challenge your brain in a new and different ways which help to keep it engaged and prevent cognitive decline. A combination of body uh, excuse me Our bodily senses such as vision, hearing, taste, smell, touch, and emotional sense are presented in a brain exercise program, and the daily routine is regularly changed. So this webinar will provide overview of cognitive disorders and concept of neurobics. Neuro plus aerobics is a special form of brain training based on most recent research findings. We'll discuss what aerobics is, why it is important, and some of the exercises you can do to get started. So now, let me introduce speaker of this webinar, Mr. Rahul. Mr. Rahul holds a master's degree in physiotherapy, specializing in neurology from Tamil Nadu, Dr. MGR Medical University, India. He also a postgraduate diploma in memory development and psychoneurobics and certifications in pain management and orthopedic manipulation therapy. He has over 14 years of teaching and clinical experience in physical therapy. Mr. Rahul's areas of interest include neurological rehabilitation, psychoneurobics, virtual reality, robotics, latest technology used in rehabilitations. Mr. Rahul, the screen is all yours.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Ms. Damayanti, for that introduction. Right, and today's webinar, as we've been waiting for this, and then this goes like unlocking the cognitive potential, neurobics. So in this session, I would be, like going through a few of the neurocognitive disorders, the concept of neurobics, a few examples of neurobic exercises, how neurobics and physiotherapy, like can be work in hand, and till now, what are the evidences we have, and how it can be used for getting a best outcome in terms of physical rehabilitation or neuro rehabilitation. All right, and yeah, moving on with few insight about the neurocognitive disorders. So, what does neurocognitive disorder means? And so, neurocognitive disorder is a mental health disorder which primarily affects the cognitive ability, including learning, memory, and perception. WHO has divided the two, meaning the neurocognitive disorders into two, meaning say one is the major NCDs, and then the other one is the mild neurocognitive disorders. When we see about the major neurocognitive disorders, which was previously known as dementia. So now dementia, Alzheimer's disease, these all were included in the major cognitive neurocognitive disorders. Diseases such as Parkinson's, Huntington's disease, HIV related, HIV infection related neurocognitive issues, those all were characterized and were included in the major neurocognitive disorders. Moving on, while we see about the mild neurocognitive disorders, which was previously known as the cognitive disorder, not otherwise specified, they are fit into this category, and they are called as the mild neurocognitive disorders, which involves a small level of performance issues and so on. So, according to the ADI, that is Alzheimer's Disease of International Report in 2019, it is estimated that like more than 2 million people are having dementia issues, and at the time, like at this time in Malaysia, and this number is going to be expected to rise in coming years. And because there is less awareness and the diagnostic capacity of in diagnostic tools for identifying dementia is limited. People are unaware of these certain neurocognitive disorders. So let's see some facts and figures. As we know, elderly population in lower and middle income countries are, like predicted to be a high from 60 percentage in 2001, which has been, like almost now by 2040, it is expected to around 71 percentage, where Malaysia stands to be having more number of elderly population. In Malaysia, over like 26 million population is estimated by 2020, and 9.8 percentage of Malaysian population will be above the age of 60. And definitely, the healthcare system, the rehabilitation, all of them should step in and like should be arranging many of the rehabilitation issues. This increase in elderly population will lead to higher impact overall healthcare cost, and which makes an alarm issue, or which makes a point that we need to take care of this as serious, and the healthcare sectors has to come in and to help. The prevalence of cognitive impairment in Malaysia, which is like from 11 to 22 percentage. So yeah, that is also an alarming sign. Now let's moving on from the neurocognitive issue. Let's find out few of the solutions which you can talk about, and one of them, what I'm trying to discuss today, is neurobics. So the neurobics term was coined by Lawrence Katz, a neurobiologist, and he describes mental exercises that stimulate brain's neural pathway and promote cognitive fitness. That is the way he terms this neurobics. Similar to physical exercises that keeps our body in shape, neurobic focus on activities that challenges and enhances brain function. Just to have a small idea, how does our brain function and what are the different areas which are responsible for certain functions. This is a structure of the brain, and basically the parietal lobe of the brain, which has got the functional area, which includes the touch pain temperature to be appreciated and being analyzed. It also is responsible for memory, recognition, proprioception, and spatial awareness of body, your audio visual commands, all those processing aspect is being done at this parietal lobe. As the age progresses, the function, the neurons at this side goes slowly, like the aging process, the functions reduces, which lead to certain neurocognitive disorders. Uh, Talking more in depth about the neurobics. So neurobic terms, as I just mentioned, it is to stimulate the brain and the cognitive functions. The term neuro relating to the nervous system and aerobics from the physical exercises are combined together to give you an effect of neurobics. So neurobics are nothing but it are mental activities along with cognitive exercises that stimulates the brain. These exercises are designed to help the brain manufacture its own nutrients that strengthen, preserves, and grow brain cells. Altogether, neurobics is going to affect the brain in a positive manner so that the many components of rehabilitation can be added on. Further on, neurobic exercises often includes physical components and environmental components, which is being supplemented by the auditory components also. So where you could say that the five senses of the human are being touched and it has been enhanced, so that the learning and the memory can be made longer, and which is going to be beneficial for the rehabilitation process. So these neurobics, they have been designed such a way that it boosts the brain power, intelligence, and learning ability. So as at this point, when I'm talking and we are finding a solution for the elderly people, how we are going to rehabilitate, this neurobics can also be used for students and for the younger generation, so that they also being benefited with increasing in brain power, intelligence, and learning ability. But then this is a topic for research. Still research is still this topic is so new that research are under process, right? Regular practice of neurobics can improve attention, uh, perception, and even stimulation to the nervous system. Neurobic exercises, if we see on the bigger picture, neurobic exercises are based on the idea of focus of making conscious effort to perform tasks and then have become automatically in our dailies. So initially, it may require 1 or 2 days of training and so on. But then once we are used to this, or the patients are used to this type of exercises, which is going to help them on a long term basis. To add on, these exercises could include non dominant hand for daily activities, like we would write from like write with the pen on our dominant side. Let's have a try, and how about writing on a not dominant side? So what happens is we are going to stimulate certain nerves or near the brain cells, which would help in learning new skills, and that would help in maintaining memory, or it will improvise in the cognitive aspect. And navigating a familiar area with your eyes closed. You could be just thinking about your favorite place, how to go to that place, telling someone, you just directions. This all is where you're using your brain to really stimulate and active on it. Or tracking individuals' instruments in a piece of music. So, music learning hand-eye coordination movements, which also helps in new improvement in the neurocognitive aspect. Talking about the goals of neurobics is to break the monotony of the daily routine and engage the brain in novel and stimulating way. So, in many of the books or in the readings, you would have read that the more you stimulate the brain, the more the brain would be active. It's simple. In terms you spend or you touch more nerve cells, the intelligence will enhance. Okay, so further down, this helps to create like neurobics. It will help to create a new neural pathway and strengthen existing one, enhancing the cognitive function and memory recall. So these are the few of the exercises which can be used in general terms. So these exercises are for for most of the general population. But when it comes for physical therapy rehabilitation or neuro rehabilitation, there are specific exercises which would be focused more on the task or what is the requirement of the patient. So a few of them are the first one is morning routine. So, morning routine, you brush your teeth. Maybe if you're using the dominant hand to brush your teeth, try this with your non-dominant hand. And I know it would be little bit difficult, but then it will be fun. And one another aspect, it will stimulate new neurons, saying that, oh, something new is happening at the motor level. Okay. Ongoing chess game. So this is at an office, leave a chessboard out so that any worker who has come along and assess the situation and make a move, just like that. So this is to improve their attention, improve the involvement, and this all is a new learning for the brain. Visit the farmers market, release the diversity of the shape, color, aromas, taste, move, normalcy. So these things are a new input for the brain. Close your eyes and open wide, identify the food on the plate, only by smell, taste, and touch. So this also is going to stimulate certain area in the brain where the senses are being there, and it can correlate so fast, and it can move, or it stimulates a particular area. Introduce novelty to take a different route to work. So while we are using the same route to work, our brain is trained in such a manner that it takes out, or it has the feelings, okay, we have visited this place. But when you try to visit, or when the patient is going through a new experience, it stays, or it stimulates, or it impacts the brain cells. So that is what, through neurobics, we are trying to find out. And then moving on to the benefits of neurobics. So there are lots of benefits of neurobics. I would just go through few of them, a few important ones. So neurobics are the brain exercise designed to improve cognitive function and mental agility, and they work on stimulating neural connection in brain and promoting neuroplasticity. So here, the neural connections are the important aspect, meaning to say, the more neural connections you have, the more your brain functions are, or the brain is functioning or moving faster. In terms, neurobic exercises challenges the brain in a new way and activates more neuron. If more neurons are activated, which would definitely help, or it will also give a notice that the more brain area which is going to be functional is activated, and then that has to give an impact on the patient's recovery, and which would definitely help the patient in a positive manner. Let's going little bit in depth about the basic principles. How does neurobics works on? So neurobics works on few of those principles. One is novelty. So novelty is, as we I was just telling you before, also having a new experience, new information, new task. This all, like, brain is greedy for these things. So brain is it's so greedy to meet new people, get new information, new tasks to be done. And brain always wanted itself to be updated. Why? Because it creates more neural connections, and that releases certain neurotransmitters, which are which are very exciting for the brain and the whole rehab process. Next is complexity. So more complex mental tasks that provides multiple brain regions, activates more neurons. So always the task should be from starting from simple, and then it as the time progresses, we need to slowly increase the complexity. So that's how is one of the basic principles of neurobics which comes into play. Next one, this is quite an important, repetition. So whatever the new task is being done, if it is being repeated once, twice, or maybe like number of times, the more number of times the repetitions are being there, the brain has got more memory, and it strengthens the existing connection. So which is very beneficial in terms of neural rehabilitation, where in case of a stroke patient, in case of any neurocognitive disorder patients also. In terms, we can also talk about Parkinson's and so on. Few other principles includes multisensory stimulation. So engaging multiple senses like the hearing, that sight, sound, touch, etc., which is when doing neurobics activates more area of brain. So not only the function, the motor aspect is being included here, plus the senses are also going to activate, and which would give a 360 degree experience for the patient. Emotional engagement, so activities that have positive emotions, which will stimulate certain chemicals, and which enhance again the cognition and the brain health. So the more positive emotions would lead to more stimulation of the neurotransmitters, and that definitely is going to boost up the patient's health. Physical activities, exercise improves blood flow to the brain and helps the neuron communicate better, and new connections are formed. So these new connections are formed as one of the concept of neuroplasticity. Right. Of course, social interaction, that is the last principles, which includes, conversing with other requires mental effort that stimulates the brain, and social engagement is also beneficial for cognitive health. So, more and more connections, more and more communication that will stimulate the brain function. And on a longer run, it definitely going to help the patients in a rehabilitation aspect. Right. Moving on with much more in depth about the neurobics exercises. So some of the exercises, what I could suggest here, it is learning a new skill. Yeah, yeah, maybe like a music instrument, or maybe drawing, whichever is comfortable for you, which requires engagement of your all senses. That is definitely going to be one of the neurobic exercises. Puzzle games, memorization task, switching between mental tasks frequently, and these all will stimulate your brain and definitely going to help on a longer run. Repetition of the neurobic exercises over time helps strengthen neural connections and forms new pathway in the brain. So how does this neurobics is affecting? So at the chemical level or at the anatomical level, how does it works and how it can be connected with physiotherapy? So neurobics are the most effective when combined with healthy lifestyle that includes physical exercises, good diet, adequate sleep, and social interaction. So this comes with a complete package, or it becomes very effective when the patient is trying to have a, a very good balance between the work, the physical activity, the diet, and plus the mental aspect also. While neurobics can help maintain cognitive function, there is no proof that yet that they can prevent or treat the neurological. This example is which is saying that the neurological disorder can be treated, but then definitely there are very much functions or very much importance, or the researchers are suggesting that on a bigger picture, neurobics does have an impact in part of the effectiveness. So here are few of the evidences or few of the studies which was done and which was published. And this is like effectiveness of neurobic exercises programs on memory, depression, and among elderly residents at old age home. So this study was done just before the pandemic. After the pandemic, there are been studies, but still not yet been published because during the pandemic, many of the mental issues, mental meaning neurocognitive issues, were on a rise because most of us were, at home. We didn't have much interaction within. We had issues initial days. I'm talking, but later on, as the pandemic progressed, humans, or like we started developing new like new hobbies like cooking, uh, becoming youtubers, so on, reading online things. So these all has been a part of the neurobic exercise. So in this part, what I'm trying to focus more on is how neurobic exercises would definitely help in memory, in improving the memory and reducing the depression. So this study does support. Another study which is talking about how the cognitive exercises and cognitive reverse, that is the neurobics trial, would help. And this study also suggested that it is effective in terms of the preoperative cognitive protection, or it will help enhance the memory components, and decrease the neurocognitive disorders. Um, Yes, this is like 2014. This also is a study which shows that effect of neurobic exercises on memory enhancement in elderly with dementia. So this is more focused on people who had issues with memory. And to the surprise, these most of these studies are being done in the Asian population, where the people are moving towards more old age, more neurocognitive issues are there. Because neurocognitive issues and certain mental disorders are, like not being much taken care, or it requires more focus from the health sector. Um, talking about how physiotherapy and neurocognitive disorders, what are the possible treatment or how it's going to help. So physiotherapy plays a significant role in supporting individuals with cognitive disorder, including neurocognitive disorders such as dementia and other conditions which are affecting the cognitive functions. Because physical therapy is more related with the physical aspect, the physical exercises and all, but with the combination of neurobics in, where neurobics is exercises specifically made for stimulating the neurons or the nerve cells. While physiotherapy primarily focus on the physical rehabilitation, it can be beneficial effects on cognitive disability and overall well-being. So on to a summary of these brief aspect about the neurobics and physiotherapy. So while neurobics and physiotherapy have different focuses and technique, they can have both contribute to an overall health and well-being. Neurobics primarily targets on the cognitive function, while physiotherapy focus on physical rehabilitation. So the point what I wanted to make here, but through this webinar, is neurobics is a new aspect where these are exercises which are specifically focusing on the neural aspect, on the memory cognition, which can be widely used by neurophysiotherapist or any sort of physiotherapist for neurological rehabilitation. So yeah, so these are my references. So I believe for this session, I have just shared the brief knowledge about the neurobics and so on.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for the insightful
Thank you, Lisa.
presentation. Dear viewers, if you have any questions for Mr. Rahul, please leave a comment. Please fill in the survey form, which can be found in the comment sections. By the end of the webinar, these certificates will be awarded. And we have a question from Nurul Najwa. Is Neurobics suitable for people of all ages?
All right. Thank you for that question. Definitely, Neurobics is suitable for all ages, right from school-going children to old age people. But our focus is more on the elderly population, because elderly population have more neurocognitive disorders. Definitely, there have been studies going on for the younger students and etc. So at this point, yes, neurobics is suitable for all ages. Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we have a question from Eng Xiang. Is neuroplasticity and neurobics interrelated? Is the work on the same concept?
Okay, interesting. Yes, neuroplasticity and neurobics are interrelated, of course. Neuroplasticity is a much broader term, whereas neurobics is just part of the neuroplasticity. Uh, Through neurobics, what we are trying to achieve is neuroplasticity, or you could say like we are trying to stimulate the brain to get more connections, and thereby with this new connections or new involvement of the areas, we are trying to rehab that particular part of the brain. So neurobics is, I could say, like neurobics is the exercise component which we are trying to achieve new connections at the brain. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question from Ms. Nadia Hashim. Can you share a quick tip of incorporating Neurobics into daily life?
Yes, yeah, of course, yes. So as I was just going through just through my slides, few of the quick examples. What I can tell you is like using your brush. You know, like if you're using brushing your teeth, maybe from on your dominant hand. Let's try doing it on the non-dominant side, right? That's one thing. You know, if you are trying to write with the dominant side, let's try to do it on the non-dominant side, where you could find a new handwriting also, and that keeps you, you know, like it keeps the fun going on. So in one way it is stimulating your brain and trying to achieve new connections, and it is keeping. So in a concept you could say, like, if your brain is healthy, you are healthy. If your brain is active, you are active. So definitely, so these are the few things. Another, I would say, an example is if you have a routine of you know, like passing through one area or having one particular favorite food, try to have a new combination with it. Try doing, if your favorite color is red, try to change it or mix up with some other, so that you're providing a new way of stimulating your brain. So these are a few of the tips, or maybe I could say like few of the exercises, I could say, which can be included in aerobics, and that can be done on daily basis. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rao.
Okay. All right. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I believe that's, you know, like, there, if there are no more questions, right?
Okay, so we have come to a come to the end of today's session. Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for joining us for today and providing such insightful information. To our wonderful audience, thank you for joining us at this webinar. We look forward to your comments and participations at future events hosted by MAHSA University. Please fill in the survey form, which can be found in the comment section. By the end of this webinar, each cert will be awarded. In case of any further queries, you can contact us through MAHSA website or visit our social media. Have a pleasant weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Come.